What happens when the biggest changes in Hollywood no longer revolve around fame or the spotlight, but rather the journey of living authentically? Behind the then and now images are far deeper stories, journeys that the public often only sees in part, or never fully understands. For many who grew up in a different era, these changes can sometimes seem confusing or alien. But behind each decision are personal experiences, pressures, struggles, and the desire to be oneself. And that's what makes these stories more worth listening to than ever before. Today, we'll look back at the journeys of some of Hollywood's most talked about figures, what shaped their lives, the challenges they faced, and the emotional lessons they left behind. Watch until the end of the video, and don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments below. Caitlyn Jenner's life is often remembered for her Olympic gold medal win at the 1976 Summer Olympics. But the most profound chapter in her life came years later, when she decided to live authentically. Before the world knew Caitlyn by name, she secretly harbored the feeling that her true identity didn't quite fit the image society expected. In a time when conversations about gender identity were limited and often misunderstood, this didn't bring clarity, but rather years of silence, internal conflict, and attempts to adapt. Jenner sought medical support and even began hormone therapy. But the pressure of public attention and the desire to protect her family led her to pause that journey. Instead, she continued her familiar life as a father, husband, and public figure. However, the feeling of not truly being herself never completely disappeared. After years of reflection, Jenner finally decided to move forward. In 2015, at age 65, she publicly revealed the name Caitlyn. It wasn't a sudden change, but a continuation of a truth that had existed within her for decades. That journey wasn't just about appearance, but also about inner peace, self-esteem, and self-acceptance. For many, especially those who grew up in less open times, Caitlyn Jenner's story serves as a reminder that it's never too late to be true to yourself, and that inner peace is sometimes more meaningful than any external success. Laverne Cox's story is not just about fame, but also a journey of resilience, self-discovery, and the courage to live authentically. Many viewers know her through her role as Sophia Bursett in the popular series Orange is the New Black. But the emotional depth she brings to that character stems from her own real-life experiences. Growing up in Mobile, Alabama, Laverne lived in an environment where traditional values strongly influenced how people viewed gender and individual identity. From a young age, she felt different and often misunderstood because her expressions didn't conform to expectations. This led her to experience years of loneliness and alienation. Over time, the gap between her inner self and her outward life became increasingly difficult to ignore. For years, Laverne silently confronted these feelings, unsure how to move forward in a society lacking understanding. It was only after moving to New York that she gradually found space to accept herself. There, Laverne began her transformation journey slowly and thoughtfully, though not easy. That journey ultimately helped her find peace and a sense of being true to herself. Laverne Cox's later success not only expanded her career, but also helped many people understand her previously unspoken experiences. Through her work and her voice, she contributed to creating empathy and showed that living authentically is sometimes a difficult journey, but also one that brings the deepest meaning. Jazz Jennings' story has become a powerful source of inspiration for many young people, offering insightful perspectives on growing up as a transgender person. She first gained public attention at the age of 6 through an interview with Barbara Walters, where she spoke about her identity with a rare confidence and clarity for a young child. That moment prompted many to begin paying attention and thinking differently about experiences they had previously misunderstood. From a young age, Jez always felt like a girl, even though she was identified as male at birth. That feeling never changed or wavered. It was evident in her clothing choices, her self-perception, and her gentle yet firm way of explaining herself when misunderstood. Like many other children, Jazz once hoped for something that would help her body better align with her inner self. But what makes her journey special is not just her self-understanding, but also the love and support from her family. Instead of denying her experiences, they chose to listen, learn, and always be there to help her feel loved and safe. As she matured, Jazz shared her life through the reality show I Am Jazz, showing viewers both the challenges and the strength needed to live authentically each day. Beyond television, she also became a positive voice in raising awareness and encouraging empathy among people. Chaz Bono's life is a journey of self-discovery, resilience, and the struggle to live authentically amidst public scrutiny. Born in 1969 to the family of two famous artists, Cher and Sonny Bono, Chaz grew up under media attention from a very young age, with an image and identity that people had become familiar with for many years. While outwardly, he always tried to project confidence. Inwardly, Chaz secretly experienced a feeling of not fully belonging to the image the world saw. Throughout his youth and adulthood, he constantly faced the conflict between external expectations and his true self. Over time, his self-understanding became clearer. Accepting himself as a man required immense courage, especially when living under public pressure and the fear of hurting loved ones. In the late 2000s, Chaz decided to begin his transition journey, which included hormone therapy and necessary medical steps to make his appearance more accurately reflect who he felt inside. It wasn't an easy decision, but the journey ultimately brought him peace and greater comfort in his own life. Beyond his personal story, Chaz Bono has become a positive voice in raising awareness and empathy for previously unspoken experiences. Through television, film, and his writings, he has helped many people view identity issues more openly. Chaz Bono's story is a reminder that living authentically at any stage of life can still bring meaning, serenity, and a sense of being oneself. Fallen Fox's journey is a powerful testament to the unwavering will and courage to live authentically, even in environments unprepared for difference. Known as a pioneer in mixed martial arts, her story is not just about fights, but a profound journey of self-discovery and self-acceptance. Born in Toledo, Fallen felt different from a young age. She felt comfortable expressing herself in ways typically associated with women, but struggled to do so in an environment filled with rigid stereotypes and expectations. When she finally mustered the courage to share her true self with her family, the reaction was anything but easy. Misunderstandings and pressure to change only intensified her feelings of loneliness during her formative years. Despite facing numerous challenges, Fallen never doubted her true self. Her decision to transition was the result of years of internal struggle and deep reflection, lacking stable family support. The journey demanded not only mental strength, but also the resilience to move forward almost alone. Step by step, she strived to live authentically, gradually finding a serenity and clarity that had previously seemed unattainable. After completing her transition, Fallen entered the world of professional MMA and became one of the first openly transgender athletes in the sport. Her emergence quickly attracted attention and sparked public debate, bringing previously avoided topics into the spotlight. Beyond the ring, Fallen Fox's story is a symbol of perseverance and courage. She not only faced her opponents in competition, but also challenged long-held prejudices, paving the way for future generations of athletes to be seen and understood for who they truly are. Andrea Pejic's journey in the fashion world is a story of transformation, resilience, and a desire to live authentically. Before becoming widely known as a female model, she made a strong impression with her unique beauty and rare, captivating aura. From the beginning of her career, Andrea stood out for her versatility between masculine and feminine styles, confidently walking the runway for both men's and women's fashion at a time when this was still quite unusual in the fashion industry. Born in Bosnia and Herzegovina and raised in Australia, Andreja always felt different from a young age. Though those feelings were difficult to name or share, in a world often limited by rigid stereotypes, she spent years searching for her true place. Over time, that ambiguity gradually transformed into a deeper understanding of herself. In 2014, Andreja decided to transition after years of reflection and internal struggle. It wasn't an impulsive change, but a crucial step towards living more authentically. The journey was fraught with challenges, but it also brought her the peace and relief she had long awaited. Instead of ending her career, this turning point opened a brilliant new chapter. Andreja continued to make her mark in the fashion world, helping to break down many barriers regarding image and representation. In particular, her appearance on the cover of GQ Portugal became a significant milestone, demonstrating the positive and more open nature of the modern fashion industry. Andreja's story shows that being true to oneself and achieving success can go hand in hand. Her journey has contributed to broadening perspectives on beauty, identity, and the right to express one's true self. Gina Rosero's story is a testament to the power of authenticity and the courage to share her true self with the world. Before 2014, she was widely known as a successful model with a captivating appearance, calm demeanor, and outstanding confidence. However, behind that glamour lay a profound personal journey that few knew about. Identified as male at birth, Gina spent many years keeping her past a secret. At age 19, she underwent gender transition to live more authentically as herself. Even after the transition, she chose to remain silent about her life story. For years, Gina lived between public success and the quiet worry of whether the world was ready to accept her truth. Everything changed in 2014 when she took to the TED stage and decided to publicly share her journey. With her heartfelt and sincere voice, Gina not only shared her personal experience, but also represented many who have felt left out or misunderstood. That moment was more than a personal confession. It was a call for empathy and understanding in society. Since then, Gina Rosero has continued to use her voice and influence to raise awareness about the transgender community through speaking engagements and social advocacy. Her journey shows that living authentically can be both fragile and powerful, opening up opportunities for deeper connection, compassion, and understanding among people. Carmen Carrera's journey is a story of self-transformation, courage, and a voice for understanding. She first gained public attention when she participated in Season 3 of RuPaul's Drag Race, where her captivating charisma and striking style quickly made her mark. However, it was what happened after the show that truly shaped her path. After leaving the competition, Carmen began a journey of living authentically and continuing her gender transition. This was not just a change in appearance, but a profound personal shift, helping her find harmony between life and the gender identity she had long felt. Despite facing many challenges and pressures, Carmen remained steadfast in her choice. A significant turning point came when she publicly spoke out about the use of some controversial terminology on television, arguing that it could hurt the transgender community. Carmen's frankness not only demonstrated courage, but also a desire to promote respect and understanding in society. In the years that followed, Carmen Carrera built a successful modeling career, appearing on numerous international runways and expanding her influence beyond reality television. Simultaneously, she actively participated in awareness-raising activities, using her voice to encourage more open conversations about identity and human dignity. Carmen's story shows that personal growth can have a broader impact on the community. By living authentically and speaking out, she contributed to fostering empathy and opening up a more positive perspective on diversity in modern society. Through the stories of Caitlyn Jenner, Laverne Cox, Jazz Jennings, Chaz Bono, Fallon Fox, Andreja Pejic, Gina Rosero, and Carmen Carrera, we see that personal identity is not something fleeting, but an authentic part of each individual. Many of them spent years overcoming fear, confusion, and prejudice to live true to themselves. These journeys not only tell of external transformation, but also stories of courage, dignity, and the desire to be understood. Although each person has a different experience, they all demonstrate the value of respect and empathy in modern society. Thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more new content. See you in the next video.